want to kind of be a team. So you're going to have the choreographed yang movements, right? And they're going to have the choreographed yin movements. But you also, maybe they don't fulfill their yang or their yin, okay? You should fill it in so that you become sensitive to those energy transformations. Got it? So as we're going, it's more that to do that, my body is going to relate to his body, because you don't want to just swing sticks at each other. So as he goes, see how I move with him. I'm not sitting here and then dodging his stick. We are already in a relationship. Roll. And I reach till I touch his stick. I'm not hitting his stick. I reach for it. I feel the center line. Boom, boom, boom. We don't have to go fast. No anything. Not getting it out of your shoulders. As we're doing that, there's a kind of deeper hit than that. And then there's the wood rolling. Get that deeper tone and that wood rolling going, okay? Okay, so to do this, we're trying to get the form at the level of energy. Because the superficial level is like your little kids, right? And your life. This is your fencing, okay? And so you have to do the work to get beyond the superficial level. And you have to understand the human tendency is to remain at the superficial, and to the unenlightened mind is only good at one thing at a time. Okay? So you'll get this kind of staccato, and that's exactly what you're seeing here, right, in our kid play. My turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. Well, what's happening in between all that, you have no idea. You're not responding to it, but the world has kept moving. So as we do the first move, I'll speak, okay? And we come here, he's already shifted. Do you understand? The fight has already moved. And you cannot go, and then you're going to move there on that. Okay, so if we were... I throw my straight punch, and you kind of take the outside line, and you come over the top. You do the straight punch. Okay? He's going to lose every time. Okay? So we're here. He throws a straight punch. Ah! The fight already moved. So you're going to come outside and over the top. Boom. So we're here. Boom. So once he moves, there. You see how I did that? It shifted. So we do the same thing again. Boom. I move when he moves. Do you understand? So, here we are, I do the ski. Whew, he's already moved. Okay? I will not get there on time and do that. You don't move when his Joe is there. You move when his body has gotten off the line of attack. So we're going to go slow. We'll watch my center, his center. Boom. Okay? Try that. Pushes with intention. Boom. I'm relating to him. Boom. See how he moves. See how I move when he moves. When he moves. Try it. You have to understand the difference between a training drill and a tactic. Okay? And if your training drill is not right, you're not implementing it right, you're not going to make that jump to the tactic. Okay, so, for example, this is incorrect, okay? Because it's a misunderstanding in drill. What you think is happening is not happening. His Joe, at this pace and at that timing, is a line that I can use to get the proper angle for my attack. It is not what I'm blocking, okay? And it's not, therefore, what I'm going to lift or manipulate. So, he is not really as much a ski as he's an abstraction of a ski. He's a direction, an angle, and a time, okay? But not all in the same way, and not on all of the same of his being. So, for example, when he goes, many of you think that the time to start is here, okay? Because you relate it to the line, which is here. But you think the line is the weapon, which is why you move the angle of attack. Instead, the start is there. I'm relating to that intention, the birth of intention. And I give him as my partner, here's your intention. So he has to now give birth to it, and I have to relate to that. I do not relate to the thing I gave him by which he could give birth to. I do not relate to the Joe. I relate to the intention. So when we go, I'm moving with that. And then you're still doing Joe. You're blocking the Joe. Okay? And you're stuck on blocking the Joe because you think that's an angle of deflection. So he does the block. Okay? And stop on the first move. Stop on the first move. Okay? And what do we know? Is this a good angle of deflection? No, because I have the distal end of the lever, so I have the mechanical advantage. Which means, stay there, that if I push over here, then he can be strong. But if I push over here, hold it up as best you can, then he can't. Okay, we use that in Aikido all the time. So I go. Does that look like that's what that's going to do? All right, let's just assume somebody is strong enough to overcome the mechanical advantage of the distal end of the lever. Let's go. First move, wait. And now let's do the second move. And the third move. So why did that happen tactically? For some weird reason, he gives up the center line while I'm occupying it. And that'll happen over and over again. There's no amount of anything that's going to work. Well, that should tell you then, I think, that you're not defending the ski here. Do you understand? You're doing a training drill. So when we go, what I'm using is the birth of his intention, which just shows up at the beginning. I relate to that body to body. And then after that, by using soft contact, by using the Joe friction, I learn the angle of attack up over his head. So the drill, the tactic, that's me keeping the same Joe geometry, right? Working off the same intention, but I don't have the problems of the distal end of the lever or clearing the center line. So I have to relate then, what are you doing? I'm relating to his body. Okay? So I have to do my form like that. This is wrong. I move with his body. And I move my weapon so that his weapon doesn't move. If you now look at my angle, and I did that, and we go to the tactic, go back. Slow, slow. And I go like this, I'm wasting a lot of motion, and I'm going to have to change angles at some point to get the downward angle, which is the angle cancellation on his base. Right? Because I'm here, and at some point, I'm going to have to do that. So I'm going to lose momentum, and I'm going to lose force at impact. Then the second thing is, go. Watch that angle, and watch my center line. I just opened it. But the other one is closed off. It goes past my target. Because I don't know what he's going to do. You understand? So we're here, and he skis, and there's a cover move in there. If he's going and he goes whatever. Okay? So start, just do the drill. Go. Don't think that you're fighting by hitting sticks. But you, in the drill, in the manifestation of the drill being fulfilled, your tactic lies. Go. So the drill, the tactic, okay, here. Regain that center line. He's going to hit. So if I'm here, right, because I moved up with him. If you watch my back foot, it'll move up with him when he moves. So, boom, watch my back foot. You see? But when you go staccato, you go like this. You're caught over here. Okay? And then do your move. Now you're here. Right? Or usually you're not there, and you're over here, and this Joe comes here, and you don't have connection. So, he moved up the circle. My back foot has to move when he moves. So, now we're back in the same connection, the same center line. I have already neutralized his strike because I already addressed and reconciled his intention. Got it? So he now goes, he's going to not be able to hit me. Okay? Well, you put that foot back where it was, and he will be able to hit you. So I'm here, he rewinds the film, and I let him, because I don't know where he's going, right? I don't know if he's going high, I don't know if he's going low. So I will hold the center line until I figure it out. Boom. Let's just stop. To get it out of my shoulders, my body moves. Don't be here. Hit it, hit it. Go back and hit it. You got to get it out of your shoulders. It just turns mush. Comes in. Same kind of thing, like he's pushing on my hand, right? This is not what we're doing. He pushes on my hand, you let it go dead. So he's pushing on my jaw, I let my jaw go dead, but my center stays alive because I was ultimately relating to him, not his jaw. So we go. I turn it back on as his jaw passes. Come back for impact. Let's go. Let me have a bunch of jokes. Got the idea? Okay. So, in his Kensei-uchi, there's going to be a point of articulation. A point at which the jaw generates a radius. Okay? And now travels along the circular path. When I take an angle of deviation, I have to move into a zone of sanctuary. So, that means that I'm going to have my circle, right? Take the apexes of the circle, draw a square by connecting those apexes, right? And then shade in the circle, and now the corners of the square are not shaded in. That's where I'm going to move. Okay, so when I do that second move and I come over here, I have to stay outside the radius of his weapon. If I go here, then here, I moved inside the radius of his weapon. Okay? And I don't have an angle of deviation to be redundant with my angle of deflection. Okay? We got that? Also, I moved into the effective range of his power. So even if I were to deflect it, right, it's probably going to overpower my block anyways. I'll show you. Take your jaw back. So we have the, so I go one. Okay, there is the radius. Stay there. You see it? Now, my goal was to stay outside of it and regain the center line. Okay? But if I put my right foot where the radius is, the end of it, and now step in, okay, you're on the center line, aren't you? Right? But you're inside the power arc of the weapon. Okay? So, one, my angle of deviation is not redundant with my angle of deflection. I'm all dependent on my angle of deflection. But two, we're here, there's not much on this. Make it strong. There's not much on it. As I start getting closer, don't let me, you see? And you can go to the extreme to test. Okay, he's 100% strong. So the closer that I'm getting to his hands, the closer I'm getting to the axis, the more powerful he's getting. So if we switch roles, okay, so there you are, right? And now move in, okay? Would you say that's, he moved in? Okay. Have your Joe be the target, scoot your head out of the way. Step back, just leave that target, scoot back. There you go. Do you understand? You guys see where I'm at? Okay. So now, that's where he was, but his head is here. Well, that looked like it was pretty effective, right? Because you moved closer to his hands, where the distal end concept is now being used against you. I know about that distal end, but I'm going to go closer to his hands. It's done. Okay? So, as you move up the radius, you cannot have your right foot go to the end of the radius because your left foot is now going to move inside it. Okay? Or you could do this, but now you have no base on which to flex your spine to generate the power into the strike. Okay? So, you have to make room for your left foot. So it's got to go out, and your left foot has to go to the end of the radius. Got that? So we go, I see, and my left foot goes to the end of the radius. Okay? All right, let's try. Okay, so you remember the radius, right? And those little plot points of the Joe. So he's who I'm fighting, right? Yes. Okay. As he goes, I'm looking at him. So now, keep that in mind and remember the clock arms. The radius, let's say it's about there. If I go like this, was my center pointing at him? No. Is it pointing at him? No, it's not. All right. So I go like this. It's pointing at him. But was it the whole thing? No. So when you travel up the radius, it's just like you have your rifle, you're going to point it at him. You're not going to move up the radius like that. So if you watch my hips now, you're going to see that I'm not going, there's actually a hip rotation. So I'm going to elongate the front of my pelvis here, and this Joe is going to rotate as I go. See how I did that? So we go, watch for that movement, one, boom. So I'm looking at him, and I was looking at him the entire time. Be careful in the same way that you did radius end, then in the radius, that you're not doing a two-dimensional linear pattern where you're like, because there was a second where you weren't. Okay? Let's go.